All right, boys and girls, this is the lesson for, I believe, Friday, May 8th. If I'm getting my days right, it's hard to think about the days during the coronavirus because I don't have my watch, I don't have my calendar next to me, but I believe it's May 8th and it's a Friday. And this one reading is called Surprise Letter. It says, "This is a rough draft of a story. It has mistakes. Read the story, then answer the questions that follow." So we're not going to edit, but we are going to look at the multiple choice and see what's going on or what's wrong with the letter. Okay, so surprise letter. Imagine my surprise when I received a letter. I never get mail. Sure, I get birthday cards, but it was nowhere near my birthday. I tore open the envelope and read the letter inside. It seemed to be for me since it started with "Dear Matt," but nothing in the letter made sense. It was signed Grandma and mentioned an upcoming family trip to visit her in Florida. My grandmother's don't my grandmother's don't lives in Florida. As you can see, boys and girls, I just messed up this sentence where it didn't sound right to me and I paused. Just think about how this sounds. My grandmother's don't lives in Florida. Very interesting. The address on the envelope was 35 East Main Street, I think it's Raleigh, North Carolina, 27603. And that is our address. Puzzled, I showed the letter to Mom. "That is odd," she agreed. "Let's look at the return address." The Florida address didn't look familiar. "Why don't we get a phone number for that address?" I suggested, thinking that it was a great idea. Mom did just that. When I called the number, a kind voice answered. It belonged to a woman with our last name, Washington, but she wasn't my grandmother. Mrs. Washington had misplaced her son's new address and phone number. Knowing he lived in Raleigh, she attempted to look him up in the phone book. Her son has the same first name as my father, so she thought ours was the right address. Not only does her son have the same name as Dad, and her grandson is named Matt. She was nice and I enjoyed our conversation. She even said that I would be welcome to visit her in Florida. All right, so let's go to that one sentence where I already had mistaken the sentence, where it almost didn't sound right to me, and that's why I paused. It says, "My grandmother's don't lives in Florida." Which word or words should replace the underlined verb so that it agrees with the subject? Okay, here's the subject. My grandmother's. So if you have plural grandmothers, this cannot have the ES at the end. Okay, so let's see. My grandmothers don't will live. My grandmothers don't live in Florida. My grandmothers don't have lived. My mothers don't living in Florida. Which one sounds right or sounds correct? My grandmothers don't live. Live does not have ES at the end because it's actually a plural. If it was a singular, my grandmother lives in Florida, but it's not. Read the sentence from the story. The address on the envelope was 35 East Main Street, Raleigh, North Carolina, 27603. Which of the following shows the underlined part written correctly? Now, boys and girls, the reason this isn't correct is because you're not able to pause when you're reading this, and you need to pause a little bit. 35 East Main Street, comma, Raleigh, North Carolina, comma, 27603. Now, Raleigh is a town as well, so comma right there. So 35 East Main Street, comma, Raleigh, no comma there, Can't be right. B, 35 East Main Street, comma, Raleigh, comma, North Carolina. Yep, that sounds about right. This is the town. This is the street. It has to have a comma there. This is the town. This is the state. So all these are separate. 1, 2, 3 separate ones. So it is B, just so you guys know. And actually, I'm going to stop right there. These last two, you can get those done if you'd like, but I'm going to go and put those on for that Monday, excuse me, Monday, I think 11th. And then on Tuesday, we will start the new packet called STAR, the Star Reading Packet. And it has little stars everywhere. So I will see you guys then. Have a good one.